Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy birthday if today's your birthday. We're going to be doing a Q&A that is completely wedding related because I have some big updates to share. So I asked you guys on Instagram for some questions and we're going to go through some of them. And I guess the first kind of crazy thing that I'm going to say, I literally have not said this out loud on the internet yet, is when the wedding is, and I'm actually going to be a 2024 bride. I know, that escalated quickly. I really can't believe it either. I guess, long story short of how this happened is that Connor and I decided that we wanted to do something a little bit less traditional, a little bit more chill, a little less expensive, and so we felt like we just were going to do a dinner party in LA and a dinner party in Canada. And so we felt like it would be fairly easy to put that together in a shorter period of time. That being said, what happened? I'm just planning a wedding. It turned into just a regular old wedding, let's be honest. I don't know when that changed or how it changed, but somehow it did. And so now suddenly I am planning a wedding in a much shorter time frame than anticipated. It's been kind of stressful, but it's also been fun. And honestly, I'm kind of glad to just like be moving the process along of the actual planning itself. So we are actually getting married this summer in Canada, and I seriously can't believe it. There is still a lot to do, but we've made a lot of great progress. Also, we are still doing something fairly small, or maybe it's considered medium size, I don't know, but we're going to have about 50 guests. And since we're actually gonna do it in Muskoka, it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna do the actual wedding on our wedding day, but then it's gonna be followed by a cottage weekend, which I'm actually really excited for because most people can stay for the whole weekend. And I feel like so many people say your wedding just like flies by, you barely remember it. And while I think that will still stand and be true for our wedding day, it's nice that we're going to have a whole weekend to spend with our guests and really get to like hang out and take in time with all the people who we really love. It's been hard though. It's been hard narrowing down the guest list. There's been a lot of kind of hard conversations had with people who we care about, but unfortunately just because we're doing something so small, it's super limited. And I honestly think that's been like the biggest challenge for us, is like there are people who we love who just we had to make some hard decisions about. And it's been hard not only with that, but also with plus ones and trying to like, you know, accommodate other people, but at the end of the day, trying to prioritize ourselves and what we want, which is something small ultimately. But honestly, I feel like we've hit a really good place. I think most of the hard conversations have been had. And really, we haven't had any issues with people not being understanding of the limitations that we're facing. And the venue that we're doing it at literally can only hold 50 people. So again, that's just kind of the cap. That's where the invites need to end. I also got a lot of questions about budget and if I would be willing to share my budget. And I just want to say absolutely yes. I think at the end of all of the planning, I would love to do a full like budget breakdown, what we spent on everything. However, at this time, I feel like I can't really share that because while we do have a budget in mind, it's really not set in stone 100% at this point. And so I just feel like that needs to be something that I share after the wedding when all is said and done and we like fully understand all of the costs. But I think that that's awesome. That's definitely been one of the biggest challenges for me, is like knowing how much I should spend on things, what's reasonable. The one perk of having a Canadian wedding is that the US dollar goes really far in Canada. So if something is $5,000 in Canada, it is a little less in USD. So that's been a fun little hack for us. I'm not gonna lie, that's been good. So while I'm not going to go into budget specifics right now, I definitely will do a breakdown video later in the year. This one's kind of fun. Someone asked top priorities versus lowest priorities. I don't know exactly what to classify as like a lowest priority, but definitely our top priority. This will not come as a surprise to anyone who watches my content. It was food. We wanted to make sure that we had amazing food at our wedding, and we definitely will. I am so excited about it. We have a bangin' menu set, and I'm not gonna go into too many specifics of the menu right now, but I will say, and again, this will not be a shock to anyone who knows us, there will of course be an oyster bar. It's gonna be so fun. And then I guess the other kind of top priority for me was finding an amazing photographer, and I did. I found such a good wedding photographer, you guys. I am so obsessed with her photos. She just nailed the vibe that I wanted, which was like fly on the wall, almost like looks like stills out of a documentary kind of vibe versus like really posed or awkward. Like I just really wanted to capture the feeling of the wedding, and I just think that she's gonna kill it. I'm so excited. I feel like these questions kind of go together. Someone said, are you using a wedding planner or doing it yourself? And then someone asked, is wedding planning what you thought it would be? Why or why not? We are not using a wedding planner. Me and Connor are doing it by ourselves with like a lot of help from our families, of course. I honestly did think that I wanted to use a planner, but when we decided to do something smaller, it kind of like fell off the radar. And of course, as I said, now it is slightly bigger than we thought it was gonna be. But I still feel like 50 people is like fairly small enough that planning it myself has been fine. And as far as if it's what I thought it would be, like, sorry, there's a plane going by. I think I would honestly say yes and no. There have definitely been moments where I've just like woken up so stressed and been like, oh my God, we are so far behind. Like, why are we doing this? How are we going to pull this off? But for the most part, it's kind of fun. Like, for example, last weekend, I really went through and started plotting like the actual decor that I wanted and like nailed down color schemes, like what kind of signage we wanted, what special little touches I wanted to add, the flowers, all of that. And honestly, while it was kind of stressful trying to like think through everything and imagine everything, it was also really fun. So for the most part, I actually think that it's been better than I anticipated it being. It's still hard and stressful at times, but better. Lots of questions in here too about my bachelorette. And yes, of course I'm doing a bachelorette. It was honestly like one of my main motivations of having a wedding. I was like, I want to do the fun wedding stuff, like a bachelorette. Forget the actual wedding. My bachelorette is actually about a month away and I am so excited for it. No, I will not be vlogging, but I am gonna try to do TikTok vlogs. I just don't want to be responsible for having my camera out while I'm trying to soak in like a special moment in my life. I kind of want to keep it a secret where we're going for now, but we are going somewhere that I've never been before, but I've heard amazing things about. We have an iconic Airbnb. I cannot wait to see it in person. My hints are that it's gonna be warm, it's gonna be beachy, and it's gonna be a party. So excited though. Most people who I invited could come, which is really amazing. And for the most part, I'm trying to keep it pretty low key as far as the themes go, just because everyone does have to fly to this destination. We're all paying, like I'd rather have people pay for activities than like for random outfits that they'll never wear again. So really, Tara and I have just been brainstorming some like chill, easy to execute themes for while we're there. It's gonna be so fun though. Also last weekend, I picked out all of the goodies for my bachelorettes, like little things that I wanna have waiting for them when they arrive, which is gonna be just so fun. So of course I'll be showing you guys all of that stuff, but later because I don't wanna ruin the surprise for them, obviously. Lots of questions too about whether I'm having bridesmaids, and honestly, not really. If you guys missed it, I asked Tara to be my maid of honor last year before I even knew that I was gonna be planning a wedding way sooner than anticipated, which was so fun and so special. And then I also asked my hometown best friend, Kelly, if she would be my something blue. I wanted to give her kind of like something special, I don't know. Just because she equally means so much to me, same as Tara. But those are the only two people who I'm kind of officially asking, and I'm not doing like bridesmaid dresses. I'm not having bridesmaids walk down the aisle during our ceremony or anything like that. Overall, the vibe of the wedding is fairly non-traditional. There'll be traditional elements, but fairly non-traditional, and I just want it to be chill. I want everyone to have fun, have a fun time. Like, I'm really like, I think I'm doing a really good job of being the opposite of a bridezilla. Like, I just kind of go with the flow. That's kind of the whole point of this, of like, if things come together, that's great. If something doesn't come together, that's fine too. Like, the whole point of this is that it's light, it's easy, it's not too much work, and it's not too expensive. We'll see how that last one continues to pan out, but ultimately, we didn't want having a wedding to get in the way of like real life important things that we want to spend our money on. Like buying a house in the future, for example. Like, I don't want to use money that we have saved for a down payment to throw a party. That makes no sense. And that's the attitude that I'm trying to keep throughout this process. Cool, calm, chill, collected, go with the flow. And while we're on the subject, someone asked specifically how I actually picked my decor, and honestly, I've been like lightly saving things to a Pinterest board, just like browsing, so I kind of started there. I had my color scheme in mind, which is going to be white, yellow, and like a peachy pink, which I just think is gonna be so pretty. And then I just started thinking about our venue itself and like, you know, what different areas we want different things for, like, you know, just really starting to plot out what is everything actually gonna look like. So I started thinking through each of the areas where the party would be happening and then searching on Pinterest for ideas. And that's kind of how I did it. I don't know, it came together fairly easily for me for some reason. Sorry, the lighting is changing. The sun is like randomly going away. This is also a fun question. Someone asked first look or not till you walk down the aisle, and I'm definitely thinking first look. I genuinely don't think it will take away from the moment of walking down the aisle. I think that's still going to be incredibly special, but I kind of love the idea of us having a moment, just the two of us, I guess, plus the photographer or whoever else is watching, but I hope that we have a moment to just sneak away and be together, just us, and like really enjoy our moment together, because that is what we keep telling ourselves, like, this is our day, this is our wedding, it's our party, what we want is what matters most. So I'm definitely leaning towards a first look. And honestly, I think I'm only gonna answer one more question because this lighting change is sending me over the edge and I don't want this video to be too long and rambly, but someone asked any family traditions you are adding in, and honestly, not really, but there are a few touches that I'm definitely bringing into the wedding. I'm definitely wearing the pearls that my mom and grandma both wore on their wedding day. My mom also has the same garter that they both wore, so I think that could be fun to wear too. And then I know I touched on this in my last video, but if you missed it, my mom is actually turning her wedding dress into a robe for me to wear when I get ready, which I just think is such a cool idea. I'm so honored that she wanted to do that for me. Overall, it's just really exciting to have a little piece of what my mom wore on her wedding day that I get to now wear on my wedding day. It's gonna be something just really special, and I feel like I'm just gonna end up wearing that robe all the time, more than likely. I haven't seen the finished product yet, but I am so excited to, and I will definitely be seeing it on FaceTime, but then I'll be seeing it in person when I go home for dress fittings, and I just can't wait. It's so fun. I love that idea. And those are the questions that I'm gonna answer in this video, but if you have more questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to respond to a few, or if you want me to do another Q&A, there were tons more questions and things that I didn't even go over with you guys, so I would be more than happy to do that if you want more deets. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video.